My name is Andrew Backus. What I'd like to speak about tonight is just sort of the procedure, the planning procedure, which I believe you all are aware of, but maybe the audience isn't. And just sort of where the power of the groundwater district comes from and the methodical approach that should be taken in establishing a policy that they're set out to, they're empowered to establish. First of all, their power comes from the state law, primarily Chapter 36 of the Texas Water Code. That empowers groundwater districts on how to operate, their general authority that they have. Specifically, an individual district's authority comes from their enabling legislation, which either adds to or subtracts from the power given under Chapter 36 of the Water Code. This district's current legislation generally detracts from the power of Chapter 36 and handcuffs it in a number of ways. Beyond that, the management plan is crucial to establishing, it's the next level of foundation of your policy, where it's built from. The management plan includes your mission statement and sets out the sort of doctrine that the district wishes to follow in how it wants to allocate water. So some possible doctrines are an approach of reasonable use. That might be if a golf course comes and asks for water, if they want to have a golf course that is like a golf course in Scotland, this board would probably say that's unreasonable. How about having a golf course that is Zurich compliant and is more appropriate for Arizona? So in other words, it conserves water, has less greens to water, things like that. Another doctrine is that of correlative rights, where you have a formula for that says based on the surface acreage you own, you are allotted a certain amount of water. Another approach would just be that of giving preference to historic use. So those that have been using water historically would get preference in the permits for water. Those are the three primary doctrines in allocating groundwater. And the former board generally was operating under a principle of reasonable use. And I believe this board is still carrying on that way. But it would be nice to know. The reason I'm making this comment now, besides just informing you all on the process, is there's some agenda items farther down regarding issuing permits. It would seem reasonable that prior to issuing the permits, that the management plan be revised and updated so we understand what the doctrine is, what the mission statement is, and where you're going before you start issuing permits. The other critical factor in all of this is the desired future condition process. That ultimately is going to dictate the amount of water that's available. That comes down from the state. That we're been working on with the other Hill Country groundwater districts. And so just a general comment that it seems a bit out of order to be discussing issuing new permits before the management plan is updated and revised. Thanks very much.